sure you check out our new sponsor, The Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Good Feeling One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, man. Chauncey reveals the truth and exposes why Carmelo Anthony is no longer in the NBA. Let's talk about it. Shout out to everybody supporting the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. Continue to share the videos. The best way to help out. We'll make a donation. That link's in the description as well. But I appreciate just sharing this, caring. But let's talk about what Chauncey said. If I don't put the source in the description, if I forget, which I usually don't, I source everywhere I get my story unless it's a rumor. And that's hit or miss, depending if it's somebody that want to be unveiled or not. But it was, if I don't put it in there, Sirius XM Satellite Radio NBA on Twitter. And then, or you can just check the description on the source link. I should put there. You can email me or hit me up on Twitter. Fastest way to get me to put the source in the description. But just go the source. And Chauncey, it's a clip on there. Chauncey telling why Carmelo Anthony is pretty much not in the league. And I don't think it's a secret, but sometimes everything that's understood is not. Everything that is supposed to be understood is not. All right. So I'm paraphrasing here. This whole content I'm paraphrasing. And he says that Carmelo Anthony cares too much about scoring 30 points. He said when we won and Carmelo didn't get 30, he wasn't jubilee. He wasn't happy. He was mad because he didn't get 30. But when we lost and he got 30, he was upbeat, trying to get guys up. Carmelo cared about scoring 30 too much. That's what he said. Then he goes on to say, Carmelo hasn't bought in to being a team guy. He don't want to. He hasn't really changed his mindset from being a superstar, all-star, to a role player to I want to do everything to make this team win. He's still in the mind frame or the mindset that he's a superstar. That he's still that guy. He ain't bought into playing backups and coming off the bench. He hasn't bought into that. And that's what he said. You can check the source link in the description. And he got the Allen Iverson-itis, the Stephon Marbury-itis, and now it's going over to the Carmelo Anthony-itis. Now, people know what I say. This generation know what I mean when I say Allen Iverson. Maybe I'll do a retro hoop series video on Stephon Marbury and the KG beef. I think that'd be a good one to do tomorrow. I'll put that on the agenda. I'll try to get to it. Okay? And long story short, to kind of give you just a vague description of what happened, it's basically the Westbrook and Kevin Durant thing. Stephon Marbury and Garnett was in Minnesota. They was supposed to be like the Kobe and Shaq. Marbury didn't want to be a sidekick to Garnett. He didn't want to be 1B, 1A. He wanted to be the numero uno. He was jealous of Garnett, and pretty much that was the downfall of his career. He jumped to a Phoenix jersey, and he was Knicks. He was an all-star, I think, after that, but he was a selfish player. And that selfish pride, not wanting to adjust after his skills diminished and his boy-headedness found his way out the NBA. His downfall started early in his career when he could have won multiple championships in Garnett. And it hurt Garnett's career. But same thing with Carmelo Anthony. It is. Carmelo Anthony, and I'm going to talk about the beef with Chauncey. Like, it's not really beef, but the stories I heard about Chauncey. I talked about this on my other channel yesterday in Marcy Sports Talk. Check it out. The Detroit-based channel. We talk some news, a lot of sports, a lot of Lions, a lot of Pistons. But Carmelo Anthony, okay? Carmelo Anthony. That's true. He cared too much about scoring 30. It's beneath him to play against backups to come off the bench. It's beneath him to be a glue guy, a role guy. And when you haven't bought into the system, you ain't bought into my skills to diminish. He basically like, if I ain't the top dog, I ain't doing it. In his mind, he still can do it, but his body can't carry out the mission no more. And he hasn't bought in. And the reason he not on the roster is his fault. Carmelo Anthony is the reason Carmelo not on the roster. His mentality of thinking, like, I'm still that guy. Allen Iverson went through, and if he found out that once his skills diminished, once he dropped off, he could no longer carry a team and he couldn't be a team player, he was out the league. Stephon Marbury found solace in China finally. He became the Michael Jordan of China. That was his destiny. Carmelo, He don't want to buy in. Everybody's saying this is a, you got people saying it's conspiracy. They hating on Melo. No, Melo is the reason why Carmelo Anthony not in the league. Because he don't want to buy into a smaller role. It ain't even like when Karl Malone and Gary Payton was trying to get a ring. And they went to the Lakers and they settled for a smaller role. And they sacrificed their stats. And Karl Malone still probably could have been an 18, 20, 10 guy for a team. At the end of his career, he could have. Maybe not so much a dominant player Gary Payton could have been at that time. But Karl Malone, 50 greatest players of all time. But, Karl Malone sacrificed, didn't get a championship. Gary Payton went on, sacrificed, got one. Carmelo not willing to take a step or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 steps back like Malone did. He didn't get one, but like he did. Like Gary Payton did. He not willing to do that. Allen Iverson was never going to do that. Allen Iverson said, I ain't coaching nobody that make more money than me. Mentalities are different. Carmelo Anthony mentality is his pride is not going to let him, just do that. Therefore, he can find himself on the outside looking in. He can go to Europe. He can go to Greece. He can go to Australia. He can go to China and try to, be the co-president, the co-Michael Jordan with Stephon Marbury. But he'd never touch Stephon Marbury over there. He can try that. But I'm going to tell you this, man. I heard some things. This back in the day. And I've never did this video or talked about this on my channel in depth. But I am. It's only going to take a couple minutes. But in depth, I remember Chauncey and Carmelo made it to the Western Conference Finals. All right, in Denver. And I heard a story from behind the scenes, right? And this is years ago. That Carmelo Anthony was jealous of Chauncey Billups because Chauncey was getting too much credit for their run to the Western Conference Finals. He was jealous that Chauncey was getting credit for taking Denver over the hump. They was a playoff team. They was getting put out. Don't remember how bad it was. I know they didn't reach the Western Conference Finals. And Carmelo Anthony was jealous because Chauncey was getting the claim. He was getting the clamor. He was getting the approval. Everybody was saying, oh, it's Chauncey. And everybody was saying Carmelo, good player. But he was saying Chauncey leadership took the Nuggets over the top. Now, Carmelo didn't like that. Carmelo is Allen Iverson, just as a small forward. Carmelo is Stephon Marbury. Carmelo Anthony, if I can't be the number one guy, if I can't get all the credit, then I don't want to win. He not willing to do what it's supposed to do to win. At the time, anybody would tell you Carmelo Anthony was a better player than Chauncey Billups at that time in Denver. Chauncey had better intangibles. He was a better leader. He kind of completed the Denver Nuggets and he gave them the intangibles that Carmelo couldn't bring to the table. Where Carmelo didn't want that nigga getting no credit. So he could step out and say something. He ain't got no reason to hate. He was a champion. Now, maybe if Carmelo Anthony, Miles barking, somebody walking by this guy. Maybe if Carmelo Anthony would have got drafted by Detroit, maybe he would have learned how to be a team player and come up in the system. But you know what? I think Detroit knew that. I think them interviewing Carmelo Anthony, I think them, knowing the fit, seeing, hearing from Jim Boeheim in Syracuse, they knew he was an ISO player. They knew he probably wouldn't fit into that role. They knew he couldn't fall in uniform and play his role and perhaps come off the bench for Tayshaun or share time with Tayshaun. They knew he probably didn't fit. And Joe Dumars, that's something that he probably need to come out and talk about. Maybe they thought Carmelo Anthony was not a fit for the teamwork atmosphere for the Pistons. And maybe Larry Brown could have molded him, or maybe Larry Brown didn't want to go through that Allen Iverson issue no more. But now I think people starting to see why Carmelo Anthony didn't get drafted by the Pistons. Arrogance, cockiness. He wasn't going to fit in the team. He wanted to be the star. Even coming into the league, he wanted to be a star. He knew everything. He wanted to. I don't think it would have worked in hindsight. Now I could rip and Chauncey, Rasheed, Tayshaun, try to bring him in and show him how to be a team player. But if he would have bought into the system, and probably when you get a younger brain, you can develop it, you can kind of nurture it and develop it and help it change. But as a young bull, I don't believe now, even it's his last crying chance, he's scratching the claw and staying in the league. Even now, older and wiser, he don't want to buy in and be a team player. As a rookie, I don't think he would have bought into what the Pistons was about. But hey, it's Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. I'll link that video in the source link. Appreciate the love, support. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Boxing get you 18% off the 100% all natural products, lotion, soaps, foot soaps, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, much, much more. And don't forget that website, promo code description. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, a video request. All those links in the description. One time for the one time. Your boy CJ Goodfellow. We gone.